It has come to our attention that in the early years of the 21st century, man was being watched by intelligence greater than theirs, and yet as mortal as their own. Through the chaos, we determine the fanatics and the fan.
That's right, folks. You are listening to Fanatics and the Fan, and my name is Hawk, and I am your host, and it is going to be an amazing show this week. How are ya?
This isn't Spatulas or Us? I'm on the wrong show.
It has been, we've already done our fall preview show, but as it gets closer and closer to the TV stuff, Keith, I get more and more excited for what's getting ready to happen, the amount of goodness we're getting ready to have.
Well, happy Doctor Who Day to everybody. This has just been, it has been torturous having to wait for this new episode. And I gotta say, I cannot even think of a time when I wasn't this excited for just the return of any television show outside of maybe Gotham. So,
Brandon, what an amazing... Our future is basically not written in stone, but it's written in goodness, right?
I have no idea what you mean by that.
Look at what's coming up in our very near
like
future.
You do. That's what I do.
We've got a Star Wars, a Star Trek, so many amazing new TV shows.
Mm-hmm. It's only outweighed by its potential for disappointment.
We're not talking about Supergirl today. We're not going to talk about that show. We're just going to lay off that for a week.
And introducing our very special guest,
Brian O'Neill, I guess. Is that me?
That is you.
Are you sure?
Arc Vindicta, Publishing and Development.
And you're a comic book guy.
I am not a comic book guy. I am a comic book creator, which seems to be a very big different thing. So
are you a tracer?
I make books that I don't know as much as I would like to know about everything comic.
It's only a downside if you're a tracer.
No, but I'm happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
We're going to actually have a very interesting show. I'm going to step out. We're going to hear some news from Larry Light and GeekyCool.com.
Hi, this is Larry Lytle of Fanatics and the Fan and GeekyCool.com. Here is all the Geeky Cool news you need to know. The Divergent movie series will be different than the Divergent book series. The book series was a trilogy of books, the third book being Allegiant. The assumption was the third and fourth movie of the Divergent series would be called Allegiant Part 1 and 2, very similar to the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 and 2. Instead, they have gone with the name for the fourth movie being Ascendant, with the third movie keeping Allegiant. UFC superstar Ronda Rousey is set to star in a remake of the 80s classic Roadhouse. Roadhouse was a movie starring Patrick Swayze. He was the bouncer at a very rough and tumble bar called the Double Deuce. The highly anticipated Wonder Woman movie from Warner Brothers and DC Comics is set to begin filming in November. Gal Gadot will reprise her role as Wonder Woman from Batman vs. Superman, and Chris Pine will be Steve Trevor. Rumor has it that half the movie will be set during the World War II timeframe, while the other half will be set in present time. In frightful news for Star Wars fans, Mark Hamill, also known as Luke Skywalker, nearly plummeted to his death during the filming of Star Wars The Force Awakens. He was climbing up some uneven steps to a 6th century hilltop monastery on a remote Irish island during the filming. 2 tourists had previously died on these very steps and fell just as he did. Luckily, a guide from the Irish Office of Public Works was there and quickly was able to save him. The sci-fi movie Ready Player One has cast Olivia Cooke as Artemis. Ready Player One is a science fiction novel by Ernie Klein. It is being directed by none other than Steven Spielberg. Netflix has released their trailer for Marvel's Jessica Jones. The trailer is a teaser trailer, but does reveal the show's premiere. The show will premiere on November 20th, 2015. I know what I'm doing for Thanksgiving break. And in Whovian news, the BBC has confirmed that Jenna Coleman will be leaving Doctor Who. Her character as Claire will no longer be his companion. It is speculated that she will be gone prior to the Christmas special this season. And that's the geeky cool news that you need to know. Stay geeky, my friends.
Hi, this is Tom Kane, the voice of a Jedi Master named Yoda, and you're listening to Fanatics and the Fan.
Thank you, Larry, for that news. Keith, television this week is going to be amazing. Starting with Doctor Who this evening.
Yes.
So if you're listening to this, you're probably actually watching Doctor Who right now.
Well, everybody in England is. And hopefully by the time this is posted, The Magician's Apprentice. And I got to say, if there was one show that I wish I could give an Emmy to, it'd be this one. Because this past season was unfreaking believable. Good character balances, great.
Yeah.
I mean, just great storytelling.
I'm one of those guys that just hates the transition every time. It bugs me.
Mm-hmm.
I want to my story has got to be like Walmart walking in. You got to feel comfortable. You got to know where everything is.
Yeah.
And they're so great at forcing you into these transitions. And the reason why I love it, I've got a 7-year-old daughter that she can't read any of the books that I write.
Yeah.
I mean, and we sit down and watch Doctor Who, and we love it, man. And that's, hey, that might be a little bit, I don't know, traditional of me, but
I still do that with my daughter.
I love that. I love that we have something like that in common that we can watch. And
7, right?
Yeah.
Mine's 18.
Yeah.
That's actually me and my 17-year-old with The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And almost everything geek.
Now, see, she and I, we watch Fear the Walking Dead. She's become a really big fan of that.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Keith, that's got some amazing numbers right now.
Very good. The best you can have. I think anybody on TV right now wants these numbers. Heck, I want those numbers. I'm not even in the show.
And just to poll the panel, who's watching Fear the Walking Dead?
Right now, I'm waiting a little bit. Walking Dead, I always wait until at least a few episodes come out because I know a lot of times it's not as quick of a show as most other things is. So I want to be able to watch 3 or 4 episodes at a time, and so I actually feel like I'm getting more of the actual story and action to it.
I skipped the last season. Going into
No, you're watching
season,
but are you watching the new show?
Yeah.
Fear the Walking Dead.
No, I'm not yet. But my partner Jeremy Worley is, but I really got tired of it. It was just literally they just tried to set you up to smack you down. It was like every episode, it was like, hey, let's smack you down a little bit more.
Kind of like Game of Thrones. Hey, a big shout out, though, to local guy Joe Bauer, who he and his team just won their upteenth Emmy for Game of Thrones. Amazing work with that. Local guy, Springfield Catholic, KSBR, KY3.
Yeah.
So,
me personally, I haven't actually started. I started watching Fear the I started watching Fear the Walking Dead.
yes.
I watched episode 1 and 2, and I as a Keith, I'm a diehard Walking Dead fan.
Yes.
I've been watching the entire first 4 seasons in a 2-day period.
Mm-hmm.
But I am not a fan of Fear. I'm not. I'm just.
I totally get
literally do without it.
Look, some people are scared because they figure it's more of the same. I look at it this way. This is like the ultimate tightrope thing in that this is the only one that isn't based on a comic. So that means you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what these characters are going to be.
Well, goodness
the last one
out of
wasn't
it.
really based on the comic. I went through the comics. So I really had a hard time. I got over it.
Yeah.
I understood they were telling a different story.
Yes.
But when your characters that you love, I went through every single book. When the characters that you love go right instead of left, it's hard.
Yeah, and what I love about it, and I had this discussion recently. Most of my life, most of your life, you really haven't lived long enough. They wouldn't do to characters what they do in The Walking Dead. Am I right?
Yeah, no, you're right.
They would just, they might, unless that actor pissed somebody off, Charlie Sheen, he would get killed off. They wouldn't do that to characters on a regular basis like they do on Walking Dead, which is one of the reasons why I think it's one of the ballsiest shows on television.
Look, but between what Joss Whedon has been doing and between what they've been doing on Game of Thrones, this is only the 3rd series that really treats its characters this way. You got to tune in just to see.
And you know, the other thing is from a storytelling standpoint, I mean, people are just overwhelmed with stuff nowadays. I mean, you really do have to, unfortunately, kill somebody to get somebody to keep tuning in. I mean, it's a tough market out there.
Unless, now, here's the wonderful thing. AMC brought back something awesome. And it's a great segue because, Walking Dead's on AMC. Kung Fu Fridays. It's back on AMC. I'm sorry. I get to see me some Kung Fu Hustle, some Jackie Chan, some Sammo Hung, which actually I didn't realize how long he'd been producing.
Yeah.
A long time.
Yeah.
He'd been producing Jackie for years. And his younger stuff, boy, Sammo put on weight quick.
It's to help basically, take some of the edge off of getting hit.
He looks great. The younger Sammo Hung, which is just amazing. You remember his TV series, the American TV series?
I remember he was on TV. I didn't watch it.
Well, nobody did because it was him and Arsenio Hall.
Well, that thing lasted 4 seasons, though. I mean,
did it really last 4 seasons?
I think it lasted 4 seasons.
Wow.
It lasted longer than I thought it would. Nothing against Sammo, and if you have to beat me, my name is Hawk. You can find me. Oh.
Folks, we are hanging out with the guys from Make the Comic Devil's Pool, talking about geek stuff. Gotta love it. I found out that one of them's a huge Doctor Who fan.
Just one.
Well, the other one's too young to understand how good Doctor Who is.
Doctor Who's good. Watch it.
I've seen all original episodes, or at least all the ones that I have access to. So.
All of the original episodes.
So, is this a rumor? Is this an actual fact? But one of our leading people from Doctor Who is leaving after the Christmas special.
To all those people that already know this answer, long time ago, yeah. Jenna Coleman has already let it be known. So by the time you're listening to this, you're laughing at me because you already knew this. But yes, she's leaving the show.
Reactions from our two Doctor Who fans?
It's just gotta happen.
It's just,
I'm sorry. That's how they've raised us now. I mean, that's this has got to happen.
That's new.
It's a different world, right?
Yeah.
This is just we just got to take it.
Seriously, I expected this to happen last season, and that's really what we've learned through news reports. She was gonna leave. They convinced her to come back.
Yeah.
I look at it this way: she's already been in an internationally known and recognizable television series. She can pretty much write her own ticket. It's like being in a Bond movie. You can do whatever you want now.
Maybe she'll do another Terminator.
Which actually, not a great
That's
segue.
Emil Clark, isn't it?
Well, and Matt Smith was in there too.
I don't know. I mean, you got to look at this TV series Selfie. I mean, it didn't do so well.
Okay.
Come on.
He just say
Come
selfie.
Selfie was an amazing show. I don't care who you say or what you say.
Don't let them deter you, man. Keep talking. Keep talking. Go with it. Run.
Yeah.
I will give both of them so much credit.
That's right. Give me your man card right now.
I don't think walking away from Doctor Who means that you could write your own ticket, though. I mean, it's like the fans of Doctor Who are ready to see new things every single episode in some cases.
Probably.
So I mean, it's stuff, but it's the way they. I mean, literally, it's the way they raised us. If you go to the old episodes, it's very similar.
Yeah. Well,
I
it
think
took longer.
BBC created a "we don't have to pay you as much as you want" contract. I mean,
That's the reason why everybody in Hollywood is envious.
Yeah.
They came up with the ultimate way of not having to do.
Yeah.
Oh, you want more money? Sure. Could you perform in this special episode we have for you? could you do that for us? Yeah. Look, we're negotiating. We're talking right now.
Yeah.
But you do the special episode, and then we'll see what happens after that.
And
you eat my worm.
speaking of a buzz, just because Doctor Who always creates a big buzz, the big buzz right now is the show that's coming up in the next couple of weeks, Blind Spot. Have you seen these trailers, these commercials? Are we on board, guys?
I watched the first trailer, and the first 10 seconds of it, there's just this, the woman coming out of the bag, and I'm just I had to watch the entire thing because I'm like, what am I watching?
Exactly, right?
What is this? And so I watched it. I'm probably going to watch this first episode, but I'm not at all excited for it. I need to know why this tattooed lady was in a bag in the middle of Times Square.
I'd like to put my resume out there too.